Good morning. Welcome to Plugged In, a life lesson from Romans chapter 12, right after this. Good morning. Welcome again to Plugged In. If you want to get your Bibles ready for Romans chapter 12, there's going to be a few little things that I share out of that. It is a beautiful day. It is the last free day for the kids. Teachers are already back in session and getting ready for tomorrow's first day of school. Most schools are starting tomorrow. Some have maybe already started, but most will start tomorrow or sometime during this week. And so the summer vacation is over and all the fall activities will be going full strength here before long. Extracurricular activities, band practices, ball game practices, sports events, all kinds of every activities that involve the kids that keep us very busy. So I saw a list presented some years ago, and it's not real hard to come across one. With Google anymore, you can find just about anything you want. But I was thinking last night about it being the first week of school, and I thought, well, I'm just going to do some life lessons that we learned in kindergarten. I just typed that in, and I came across a few things, and then I wanted to tie it in with some of the things that Paul says in Romans chapter 12 that are similar, but maybe worded a little bit different. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that here in just a moment. So, these are some of the things we learned when we were in kindergarten. First of all, about relationships. That is, share and be generous. Share your toys, share your food, or maybe, I know sometimes we would trade our food when I was in elementary. Somebody had butterscotch pudding and I had chocolate, and we neither one wanted ours, so we would trade, or somebody had Cheetos and the others had Doritos, and we would trade. So there's that sharing and being generous. What that does is it fosters a sense of community and kindness. In kindergarten, we learn to be fair with one another and to play by the rules. Rules are good at times. I know that there are some rules that we sometimes at least bend to fit the situation, but we also know that rules are there for specific guidelines, and there are some rules that are given either in a game or in a classroom setting that are to be followed, and that makes everything run smoother. It lays the foundation for that class time. Respect others. Just be respectful of others, and especially of their space. Okay? When you're in elementary, the boys and girls, they don't really care to be close to each other. Okay, when they start getting junior high, they like to be a little bit closer to one another. But then there's some who think that they should be close, and others are like, get out of my bubble. Okay, so be respectful of others and their space. No hitting. We learned that in kindergarten. No hitting. If you've done something you shouldn't to someone, say you're sorry, apologize, and be mindful of others' belongings. You see someone's crayons, they're not yours, don't take them, okay? If they're going to let you borrow them, fine, but don't just walk by and take them because you don't have them. And in kindergarten, we learned the importance of just building relationships. There would be games that we would play where we were holding hands, okay? Or we would stick together as a group, or they would put us in groups so that we worked in community. All of that was so that we would build relationships with one another. Just real quick, a couple of other things that fall under the hygiene personal responsibility venue. Cleanliness, we learned, the importance of washing your hands, cleaning up your messes. We learned that in kindergarten, okay? Keep personal spaces tidy. Here's a big one. Take responsibility for your actions. We learned a long, long time ago that it doesn't do us any good to point the finger. We live in a society today that no one wants to take responsibility. They learned this lesson in kindergarten. We just somewhere along the lines forgot it. And that's basically why I want to go to Romans chapter 12, because in Romans chapter 12, there are some instructions that Paul gives to the Christians living in Rome on how they live, not only with one another, but with those who are not believers, and it shows the character of Christ. And he has to tell these people this because they're obviously not living that way, or they're not doing as well as they could be. And so here's the thing. We learned some really important life lessons in kindergarten. And then we got older and we thought that, well, what we learned in kindergarten, we don't really need to apply. And that's really not true. Even more as adults, we need to practice some things. So I'm just going to begin at verse 9. I'm just going to give you some tidbits, kind of give my own little simple definition of what Paul is saying. Beginning verse 9, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. When you were in junior high and high school, you dealt with peer pressure. And when you're an adult, you still deal with peer pressure. And sometimes what the crowd wants to do is not always the good. And Paul says, cling to what is good. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. He said, be devoted to one another. Be true to one another. If you're going to be a friend to someone, be a friend with them all the way through. No matter what the day is like, no matter what the situation is, the storms of life, help them to know that they've got someone that they can lean on, or that you find someone that you can lean on. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal. Now, here's what Paul says. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. He's telling them, hey, the same fire you had when you were baptized and you came to Christ and you were all excited about the kingdom, you keep that. But I would say keep that same zeal with whatever you're doing. If it's in the workplace, maybe you're approaching year number 15 and work is not the same it was at year number 1 at your place. Keep that fervor, keep that encouragement, keep that fire going some way. And that helps the whole community. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction. In other words, people are not always going to like or do things the way you want. Just be patient in affliction. Be faithful in prayer. Hey, turn it over to the Lord. He'll help you make it through it. You're not going to make it through things in life on your own strength. The Lord will help you. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Don't just share with the people as if, hey, I'm going to come over to your place. Invite them into your circle. Bless those who persecute you. And bless them and do not curse. In other words, just be kind to everybody. Just be kind. When we do that, we heap these burning coals on their head. That's what he talks about there in the last part of chapter 12. Rejoice with those who rejoice. If someone in your workplace gets a bonus, gets a raise, man, rejoice with them. If somebody's mourning, if somebody's going through a hard time, maybe in their family, feel what they're feeling. there might be that time that you need their comfort as well. Here's the big one, verse 16. Live in harmony with one another. And how do we do that? Well, do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not have this conceited, smug, snobbish attitude. I'm better than you are. I've got it all figured out. No. Practice harmony with one another. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but we'll finish up. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. In other words, do not seek revenge. Okay? Do not try to even the score. Those are some lessons we learned a long time ago in kindergarten. And they were life lessons that we need to continue doing. And especially, as we wind this up, especially if we call ourselves a follower of Christ. Because our conduct will say a lot to the community and to our peers as to the character of Christ. And we don't want to give to them the wrong image. Thank you again for joining us each week. Like and share this with others. And we'll see you next Monday again on another session of Plugged In.